All right. Last time he'll be here next week, y'all. So, make sure to solve the mystery of his family's murder while he's not here. That that is the way to do it. All right. So last time, Miki and Andre had gone to talk to the prince in Mussover, and then they came back after talking to the prince and everybody. At the Mage College, Kaz continued to create NPCs, talking with Ian, and then heading over to a table full of students where he met Laura, as well as Beefy, Handsome, and a pink Kenku, all of whom could have names if he asked for their names, then now have names. Um, and Miki and Andre spoke with Valentis, Prince Finn, and Mussover in a hushed planning session before rowdy nobles came through and dragged them off to argue with them. But Mussover, Finn, and Valentis basically said, look, we're tied up trying to handle the political unrest. So please look into the Mage College conflict, the Golethikosh threat, the evil in foreign lands. Keep us abreast of what's happening. Um, uh, Andre downloaded all the lore the group has. Well, I guess Miki downloaded all the lore to Andre, and Andre subsequently was like, great, I'm on board for all of these things. Andre stole a doily. That's important. We got to put that in the plot summary. That's going to come back to haunt him. Sticky fingers all around. Miki got a permission slip from the prince to look into the library at the Mage College. Kaz continued his antics, almost getting himself kicked out of the Mage College while talking to Bonta, the pink Kenku. So that one got a name. Um, he calmed everybody down. Meanwhile, Crash was decided to come out of the machine. Really, the DM railroaded her into coming out
I
of
was forced. I can't go to school now.
the DM is unfair.
My slice of life single person improv where I go to school and take classes.
The DM was such a railroading jerk. He did not allow Crash Eve to spend like 8 sessions unconscious and then wake up and go to school in game while the rest of the group was doing group things. So she shattered the machine, and then everybody got mad at her about shattering the machine. Who is this DM that forces you to wake up and then punishes you for doing so? What a rude person. So Eve shattered the machine, Crash shattered the machine and herself, and now owes the Mage College 5,000 gold pieces. But she escaped the 2-day analysis ritual. Schnabel kicks Kaz and Crash out of the college. And just at that moment, by some strange happenstance, Andre and Miki happen to arrive right there at the top of the landing in between the two asymmetrical black and white marble wings of the Mage College and the library. Crash then lore dumped her lore, and we learned that I misspelled her character name in the plot summary. She revealed that her name is Sarah Balidian, and she's not Crash anymore. She's actually Crash's arcane ward brought to life, and the group absorbed this information standing at the top of the stairs rather late day, early evening, if I recall correctly. And some passing student was shocked by Crash's revelation of self and the pulsating goo or what have you. And the person was scandalized and ran inside after seeing that. And so we open with you three on the landing.
I'm not gonna tease this out anymore. Cerebellidian is cerebell shit. It's the cerebellum and obsidian. I just smashed the two together.
That was close.
You were close.
So y'all are standing there. What are you up to?
What are we up to?
If it's kind of late, but if we want, we can probably do a little bit of research on Galathakosh in the library. See if they have any knowledge of the demons that we're apparently going to be facing, or we can go ahead and find somewhere to sleep and then check up on any one of our loose threads.
I
Would the-
likely.
Would the library be open right now?
That's a good question.
I don't know what time it is in the D&D world right now.
Late.
I believe
Late.
it's late afternoon, early evening, like 7 p.m., 6:30, 7 p.m. kind of time frame.
I also likely would not be allowed in the library as I have destroyed school property and become disliked by the people here. So it might be prudent for me to leave and find something else that may serve the group.
Well, the library and the mage college are separate entities. They're the mage college is the black wing and the library is the white wing. So
Are
They
they
should-
controlled by separate entities or are they?
I had the
But-
feeling they were separate entities.
Uh,
One
Sure.
can only discover in game.
I wouldn't know with my vast knowledge of the school.
I mean, do you have a vast knowledge of the school?
No, but maybe you can say that I no. I well, all right. If it seems useful, then I'd certainly be interested in studying in this library.
Hmm.
Let's go see the library then. Maybe we can pay a fee to have them deliver some books concerning Galathakosh to wherever we're staying, and then we'll check them out like in between doing tasks around town. Like the coffee people, I forgot their name.
The Coughlins.
The Coughlins. Yeah. We gotta go see what's up with them.
Yes, handily in the channel, someone put a little for next
Oh, right.
list, and that can help us remember our long-term goals.
Cool.
Yeah, let's swing by the library right quick then and see see if they're open, I guess.
Hmm. I do have this permission slip from the prince, so they should let us in.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
So you head over to the library, and you are met at the door by a very old man who looks surprisingly similar to Ernest Honorcastle, except he has dark skin. And he says, hello, the library is closing, about to be closed for today.
Are you the librarian?
Oh, no. I am Herman Virtue Courtyard.
Herman Virtue Courtyard.
Yes. Yes.
So are you closing up or?
Yes. We're closing for the day. There are still people studying inside, and massive, beautiful library, the greatest storehouse of knowledge in all the land. But we're not really letting people in now because it's so late.
All right. All right, let's go find our long rest for the night.
Okay.
Of course.
Is that a permission slip in your hand?
Yeah, yes, it is. Will you allow us to study? If
Sorry, this NPC really threw me.
he did.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Come
Yeah.
back.
We
Okay,
do
no, go.
have a letter from the prince letting us have passage into here. We're on his business. We're here to research on devils, particularly one called Galacthokosh, and one's connected with him.
Oh, well, we're closed.
But
But
you think we can perhaps check out some books and bring them back tomorrow?
I mean, I'm just a door person. You'll have to talk to the librarians. Miki, why don't you roll persuasion with advantage since you have this permission slip?
All right, what's my persuasion?
You know, we're closed and you'll have to leave. My name is Herman Virtue Courtyard.
Yeah.
22.
Well, if you have permission from the prince, one time I saw him when he was younger. I went to a public event and I saw the side of his face, and I haven't washed that side of my face since. Figuratively, the prince, the royal family is really wonderful. The queen is quite beautiful. Right this way.
Oh. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Herman Virtue Courtyard.
Yes, thank you for remembering my name.
I thought it was Perman.
You did?
Herman,
Herman, okay.
not Kerman.
Was that Miki or you?
That was both.
Herman. So he opens the door and he says, "Well, please hurry because we're closing and all that." So you are. He gestures you in, and you see this big open marble sort of reception area with desks and with a counter on either side. On one side of the counter is on one side of the room behind a counter is someone who looks remarkably like Moyle, the royal tailor. I don't know if you remember them, but I put a picture of them in the channel just now to remind you. There's a person who looks remarkably like Moyle the royal tailor, and then on the other side of the room, behind a counter is a person who kind of looks like if Greenshanks, the Mussover's major domo, was a librarian. A little bit more slender, very, very handsome, perfect mustache. And so these two individuals are on either side of the room behind counters. It's sort of a grayish, whitish, really large entryway. And then beyond it, it appears that various large rooms open up that probably contain books.
Miki's gonna go up to the Moyle lookalike, and she's gonna be like, I apologize if it's late. We're here on the prince's duty. We're trying to find out more about a certain demon called Galathakosh. Do you think you can help us find books relating to demons? And if you know if there's any that specifically point out Galathakosh?
And the person says, it's close. Sorry. Let's show up and watch Jake act silly. It's closed. The library's closed.
I know it's just on the prince's business, and it was a long walk over here. It was a couple hours.
Well, my glasses are a bit dingy. I might be able to help you if one of you can help me look.
All right.
Sure.
Certainly.
One of you could make an arcana or history check for me to help me.
Or wait, you?
I have a +4.
I have a +6.
Okay, go ahead.
Great.
How could you have a +6? Oh,
Because I'm a wizard.
The skill. I was thinking about the bonus. Yeah.
Yes.
Modifier.
Oh, you probably do have a better intelligence than me, but
I have a -1, so I'm not helping.
I'm good in both of these, but I guess I'll roll history. Okay, I'm gonna do knowledge from a past life. Wait, I think I said that I used them all. Never mind. I roll a 10.
Moyle says, "Oh, that's not very helpful. By the way, my name is Moyla."
Moy, do you happen to be related to Moyle, the tailor?
"Oh, yes, that is my sibling."
If you could do us this great favor then, and just tomorrow, whenever you have a chance, send over any books that you find relating to this Galathakosh, we will reward you pretty handsomely.
Oh, you don't want to look right now?
No, just you look whenever you have time tomorrow and send them over to us. We will be staying at where are we staying again, Miki?
You can send them to the castle, to Prince Finn, or to Valentis. They can get the books to us.
Okay, tell me very clearly what you want me to look up.
Do you have paper? The paper I can write on for you.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a piece of parchment. It's worth a lot of money.
All right. So we need. That's tuna. Give me a second.
What? What'd you say?
That was out of character. I accidentally touched the lid full of tuna. So we need any books relating to Galathakosh.
I've never heard of that.
Devils. I should say this in character.
Galathakosh. Devils. Demons, probably.
Devils, demons,
Demons.
golden thakish.
Summonings.
Perhaps as well any sort of entity referred to as the matron or like mother of in the context of devils and demons.
The matron or mother?
Yes. Any mention of matrons or mothers
Is that the right
in
word?
relation?
Well, I don't know. It's just I used to
Matrons or
mistress. It's mistress.
Mistress.
She's always-
Matron, mother, and mistress, and Goalie Cathus. And they yell across the room, Augustus, have you ever heard of a Goalie Cathus? And the person across the room is like, Moila, please. The library is almost closed. I have no idea what you're saying. And Moila like sighs, and then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I never heard of Goalie Thakish. I'll look it up tomorrow if I can.
Okay.
My glasses are kind of foggy. I'll see what I can find.
Well, for each book that actually relates to the things that we're looking for, I'm willing to give you 2 gold pieces each. So
I can give you some piece more.
Oh, well, I'm not a person to be bought and paid for. I was doing you a favor.
Oh, it's so good to see people willing to help out people without coin. It's good to see good, honest people in this kingdom. It's you that make the kingdom work.
Oh, thank you. So, Goalie Thakish, matron, mistress, mother, demons, devils, you want as many books on these topics as possible delivered to the prince tomorrow?
Miki,
Yes.
what was Valentis?
Yeah, Valentis.
The prince or Valentis? Preferably Valentis. The prince does seem rather busy at the moment.
I've heard of Valentis. He's a scholar, I believe.
Yes, he's the prince's tutor.
Very good. Any other topics you'd like me to research? You all are very silent. Am I being weird?
This isn't related towards that. And it's more so if you have more extra time. But if you have any extra knowledge about the Elvendale, I would appreciate that for personal reasons. But that's way less important than this.
Oh, okay. Books about the Elvendale then. All right. And they take the piece of paper from you. Okay, well, nice to meet you. Nameless 3 people. I will send these books to Valentis on your behalf.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful library. Shame no one wants to look at it today of your group.
Well, you said it was running late, and your friends is already trying to kick us out.
Did I not take a cursory glance and fail to find what we were looking for?
No.
I thought that's what my Arcana check was for.
I thought that was what it was for too.
I
Well.
thought so as well.
When you, Crash / Sarah, attempt to check out the library, you walk into some interesting spaces. Apparently there is a flight. So the first room you walk into has all of these balconies, white marble floor, little desks, many books on many shelves on many levels, and that is one of the reasons it's confusing. But interestingly, the style of this massive library changes as you go into different areas. There's one where the ceiling is arched dark wood, and there are busts every 10 feet along what feels like an endless floor. Another of the rooms seems to twist in a circle with lightning bolts of open space at the top and bottom. But then you realize that you're just walking on a mirrored surface. But the books are all the way up towards the top of the ceiling, very difficult to get to. And there are more chambers. There's one that looks like a damp cave. There's one that looks like a minimalist bunch of metal rods holding up the books. So it is a lot to take in. And as Moila galumps along beside you, going, yes, yes, Goalie Thakish. Can you help me look, cat lady?
Of course.
And she points at the shelves and asks you to, does that say Goalie Thakish?
Yes. We have found what we are looking for.
Oh, and she pulls out a book that says Goliath Cash.
Hmm.
It's a story of the economics of Goliath tribes in the unsettled regions to the northwest. Goliath Cash. Yes, Goliath Cash. This is what you're looking for, yes?
A fascinating account. But
Mickey, I
no.
fear we've made a horrible mistake.
Yeah. Well, if she grabs every book, then there's a chance we can look ourselves.
We're already here. Yeah, let's look ourselves. Let's.
Oh, okay. Well, I will have cleaner glasses tomorrow for the delivery, but if you'd like to look yourselves, there is a demon's room. You said devil's. Which room would you prefer, the devil's room or the demon's room?
Let's start with the devil's room.
Devils, yes, devils. All right, right this way. And
Do we? Oh, I don't have to go way back. Is Galath? Oh, Galathakosh. Infernal mentions infernal mistress. That's more so demons. That's devils. Okay, cool. We're going to the right place.
infernal means devils, and abyssal is demons.
I made that mistake when we first learned about it. So I remember.
So they lead you to this room that has all of these white balconies connected by white staircases that if you became frustrated trying to find the right thing, you might throw yourself off of. There are little benches set up for reading, and they slowly drag themselves up one of the staircases, looking back at you, and they say, so you've met my sibling Moyle at the castle, have you?
Yes, they are very pleasant.
Yes, the finest tailor, the finest tailor, my sibling Moyle. They can make anything out of anything for anybody at any time. And they take you to this middle corner, middle back corner area, and they're like, this whole situation is dedicated to devils. Devils, you know, because of the Great Barrier, this land has not experienced devils in a long time. But people have studied them and wrote about them and such. Written, sorry. Librarians should have better grammar.
Are you a
What?
librarian?
Oh, yes. I am one of the 2 librarians that works here on this day of the week.
What's your coworker's name? What's the other librarian's name?
Oh, that's Augustus. You saw him
Augustus.
outside. He's very beautiful.
You said it, not me.
Okay. Anyway, these are the devil books. I'm trying to. If you let me look tomorrow with my clean glasses, I can send you. But please feel free to hunt around.
I would appreciate if you could, but since we're here, I might as well make some use of the time.
All right, somebody make me an Arcana or a History.
Should I take this one, Eve, or
If either of you guys have proficiency in that, you could give me the help action.
I do not have proficiency in either.
I
Nope.
do have proficiency, so I could give you the help action.
We could do that.
Would that be better? Does the help action, does advantage account for like,
If
yeah, whatever, let's do that. I
Okay.
already rolled.
if Daniel wants to make a roll and you take the help action because you have proficiency and he doesn't, we could do that.
That's the play, I think.
All right, I'm staring at my dice screen.
All right, advantage on, +4. Let's call it an Arcana check.
Hey, is that a 5 and a 13? And then the 13 is +4 for a 17?
Yeah.
Ah, yes. Yes. Andre, you walk over to the devil's shelf and you definitely don't find any books about Golethakosh nor the mistress, but you do find many books, which Moila tells you cannot leave the library because they're so old. And you find books that are hundreds of years old, written on vellum, perhaps in lamb's blood, who knows, a bit faded. Every once in a while when you're turning a page, Moila is like, "Oh, be careful! Be careful! It's a rare book." And it tells you things about devils. I don't have a huge lore drop for you about devils here, but I will say that if you ask me a devil-related question moving forward, you can reference this experience, and I'll give you some extra information.
Okay.
But I'm hoping that you're willing to spend some time piecing together crap from different books and trying to figure out what's going on.
That was the plan. I was just gonna check them out and then do that like in the downtime between the Coughlin thing. But yeah, I can, since we're at the library, I can do that now.
Moyle starts yawning as you're sort of cross-referencing these different books. Crash, you're probably pitching in one way or another. What does that look like?
Yeah, I think Crash does not have a very good understanding of like, I guess Crash slash Sarah, a very good understanding of the organization of libraries, but is just a pretty like astute person in general and is able to like sort of old-fashioned-y language is easier for her to pick apart and just like little things like that where it's like, oh, like she can tell that this volume is the one you want instead of another thing you're finding, just like little moments where otherwise you would get stuck, she kind of pushes you through.
I feel like if there's like a source list at the bottom or at the back or wherever, Eve's probably like finding the books so that we can kind of daisy chain and find our way through all the info.
Yeah, like appendixes and
Yeah.
studying.
So yeah, you have books spread out on both floors and tables. Many of them, as I mentioned, look like ancient illuminated vellum texts. I'm gonna show a couple pictures of that kind of thing because it's fun. And you start piecing together bits and pieces of information since the Great Barrier has been up for hundreds of years, and it's hard to Oh, let me move this picture around. All right. Here's some pictures for you. And then Miki, I'm going to ask you a question. So here's some pictures of some examples of some of the books you're looking at. Uh, they're written and illustrated by hand by monks. There's pictures of little celestial beings and demonic beings. As you know, in this country, in this world, there are 10 known gods, and often they are depicted as animals. Fetlan is a turkey, Mufinder is a dog, Kaibox is a stork. Um, and you're looking for references to Galathikosh, to the Mistress, finding out about demons and devils, and Miki, you are not as book smart as they, but how are you helping out?
Uh, I'd say that Miki is just the assistant that writes down whatever people yell at her to do.
Okay.
Yeah, she spent a long portion of her life writing as her main form of communication, so she's a very fast and neat writer.
And after about an hour or so, Moila says, I'm going to take my break. At this point, I trust you all with your texts. I need to eat a sandwich. I'll be back in a bit.
No, wait, sorry. How many breaks do you get?
Well, technically, I'm supposed to be home and the library's supposed to be closed. So usually I'd be eating dinner at home, but I do have a sandwich squirreled away. I'm going to eat it and trust you over here by the books. So I'll be back in a couple minutes, I suppose.
We'll try to finish up quickly so you can go home as well.
Absolutely, terribly sorry for the inconvenience.
And they shuffle away. And some of the lights in the library are extinguished, but not around where you are. So, you don't find the phrase "the mistress" in particular, but in reading about the devils, you read that there are certain archdevils, and some of them have various personality traits. And in looking for words like matron and matriarch and mistress and all of that, there is and this is in quite an ancient text that is missing pages and rubbed out and such. There is some kind of feminine archdevil figure that this could potentially apply to. You don't find references to Galathikosh until it's actually books that seem a bit newer, books from the last 100, 180, 200 years. There are a few references, and the name is not spelled the way that you have seen it spelled of late, but there are words that there are words that are similar to it. Words that make you think of it. And even though these books are a little bit newer, 100 to 200 years old, they're still damaged, almost as if someone had damaged them on purpose. Who knows? But all you can really drag out of there is that this is some kind of evil force that has been mentioned a couple times in different countries. It was mentioned in Rocinante about 180 years ago. It was mentioned by a high priest, not a high priest, but what do they call him? It was, there's a book you find by one of the 100 holy ones from Parvus. Some of you know or would read if you did not know, but I think some of you would know that Parvus is a theocracy, and it is ruled by the 100 holy ones who only rule for a 1-year term before they select their next successor. In Parvus, for some reason, there's a book about Parvus just stuffed in among the devil books. For some reason, there's a book about Parvus stuffed in there. So in Parvus, there are really two species: the Tabaxi, who are viewed in an almost messianic way by the halflings. And at that point, your interesting book about Parvus that you're reading cuts off, and it seems like the other half of the book is missing. So if you wanted to look up more about Parvus, you could ask Moila when they return. But one of the 100 holy ones, about 100 years ago, mentioned something about Golethks or Golethekesh, but again as a foreign and evil power. No details given beyond perhaps even it being a folktale or a legend.
How do I spell that?
The correct
The
spelling is the first one I put in the chat.
Oh, but how it was in Parvus, it was like Galish. Or
The second one is the Parvus one.
okay.
And as you finish gleaning that information from this mosaic of ancient tomes you've laid out on the ground, Moila comes back with a few sandwich crumbs on their face and says, I hope you found useful information.
Very useful, Moila. Thank you so much for your time. We're sorry to have kept you late. I think we're all set here, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll just start putting these books back.
You
And
do that, Moila, and we will see you possibly in the future.
they very laboriously pick up each book one by one, grabbing their back in pain. Oh,
Miki's gonna help Moila out.
I will also help.
Just tell me where you need these put.
oh, thank you. Over there. I'll be getting home late tonight, but anything to help a friend of my sibling Moyle and the kingdom. Eventually, you guys put the books back. And Moyla says, shall I escort you out?
I think we can find the way ourselves.
All right. Y'all leave. It's dark. As you leave, the lights turn out behind you. The door closes and you're outside, and it's 10:30 p.m.
As we leave the library, do we pass by any noticeable elvish area?
This is a huge library, so there's definitely places for elf stuff.
Okay, since Moila isn't with us, is there a chance that I could potentially just take some books
Take some
without
elf
anyone
books.
noticing? Yeah, some elf books without anyone noticing.
Roll me perception or investigation or history to find them.
Perception is my best one of those. Ooh, 20.
Okay. Yeah, you want books about the Elvendel?
Yes.
You definitely find books about the Elvendel. More recent books, not these ancient tomes, but uh, uh, sort of Volo's Guide to the Elvendel, whoever this world's analog of Volo is. Um, and the most hated character in all of Wizards of the Coast lore. Uh, if you're planning to steal the books, give me a sleight of hand check, please.
Ooh, 29.
No one notices the books have been stolen, not even the books.
The books have always been mine.
Yes. And unless you tell me otherwise, you are back on the outside landing.
Yes, so we should be heading to the castle for uh to rest in our chambers, right?
Yeah, that'll probably be the best.
Certainly.
We can investigate the coffins tomorrow, and hopefully there's no dramatic change about them.
Hopefully not. They've Mussover said they were acting a little weird. I doubt they'll do anything in the dead of night. We can probably check up on them safely in the morning.
As I've been indisposed today, what were the Coughlins doing? Uh, was that of interest?
Hold on, I have it in my notes somewhere. We were asked to look into the minor house of Coughlin because they seem to be exhibiting more energy and some irritability, as well as having a large amount of economic growth in the recent months. So they're just weird, I guess.
They've been acting strangely, a bit energetic, crabby, and having more money.
Do we know what family they're related to? Are they a branch family of one of the major families?
Well, everyone's related around here, but this is one of the minor noble houses.
Oh, okay.
One of the 13 minor noble houses who were part of the vote
Right.
from your speech.
That's why it sounded familiar. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so what's next, fam?
Going to bed, as far as I'm aware.
Long rest
So you're gonna make your
at the
way
castle.
back across the city to the castle.
We're not too far from the castle, right?
Oh yeah, you are. It's like you'll get there at like midnight at the earliest.
Oh, my internal map was wrong.
Well, there's less traffic, so
You got to walk past the docks, the workshop, the temple district, the Tamerwind compound, the chop, the docks again, the travelers district, the nobles quarter to get to Castle Dagran. The long circuitous route.
Are there any inns nearby?
Well, there is the Travelers District and the Broken Plowshare. And Miki also might know about the Towering Mine in the
Mm.
Chop, but you do have free rooms at the castle as well.
If we want to stop, we can stop at one of the inns. It'll cost us a little bit to stay there, but it's a bit faster than walking all the way back to the castle. But the castle is free for us. I'm up for anything.
Do you know whereabouts it would cost for a night for us?
Sure, it is X amounts and X amounts.
Hella cheap, cheaper, hella cheap for y'all, cheaper at the Chop, and cheap at the Travelers District at the Broken Plowshare.
Well, I have 15 gold. I'm sure we can afford someplace in the Chop for the night.
Yeah,
I carry no coin. I leave it to the two of you.
yeah, I can cover the bill for everyone. It's fine.
Okay.
So you all are heading to the Towering Mine in the Chop. Miki, maybe you can refresh my memory about your experiences at the Towering Mine so far, as well as the rest.
Uh,
You did stay at the Broken Plowshare just a couple nights ago.
yes, we stayed at the Broken Plowshare a couple nights ago. The Towering Mine, I don't think Miki's been in this reality.
Well, she remembers her other reality.
Yeah. She'll, yeah. Let me find that note. That's it. What I wrote down for that.
So
No.
you all arrive in front of the Towering Mine in the Chop. It is a cheap wooden clapboard building that is painted fadingly like a bunch of rocks, and the front door is painted like a mine entrance. And it's about midnight, and you hear raucous music coming from inside as various drunken ne'er-do-wells enter and exit into the dirty street where shadowy figures prowl in the night in the Chop. Willst thou enter? Well, it sounds like it's time for a music change. Remember when we had Horseman?
I do. We never came up with a canonical reason why he left.
Oh, he just started galloping around the city.
Yeah, free as anything.
He turned into a horse and he stayed that way. I was just thinking about how when he was here, it would just be like 2 hours of straight talking about nothing. Um, and now we actually do the story. I love the talking about nothing. Um, but the story is unfurling now. You guys spent 2 days at the Broken Plowshare. You spent like 2 or 3 sessions at the Broken Plowshare.
2 real weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, 2 IRL weeks. You get some tavern. Yeah, tavern. And why not one of my favorite Cittern songs? So you enter this tavern and it is very shabbily mine themed. The tables are painted to look like rocks. There are some pickaxes above the hanging on the walls. There is a slender elf female behind the bar. Around the room are some roughshod longshore people who have probably have been working all day. There are a couple of gnomes playing darts in the corner. There is a greasy-haired teenage bard. Seems like every tavern has a greasy-haired teenage bard in this land. There's a greasy-haired teenage bard over in the corner. And yeah, there you are. It's midnight, so things are a bit out of hand. Two of the very thick humans start punching each other, and a fellow was standing nearby watching starts pushing them towards the door. It smells kind of bad. There's beer on the floor, but it's the Towering Mine. What are you up to?
All right, so how many rooms do we want? Do we want 3 rooms or 1 big room or 2 rooms? How many do we want?
I'm fine with 1 room.
I have no preference.
All right, cool. All right, then I'll go up and ask for a room. And then I go up to what I assume is the innkeep. What I remember as the innkeep.
Yeah, it's the same person. It's slender elf, slender elf lady, and she looks at you and says, "Welcome to the Towering Mine. How may I help you?"
Yes, I would just like a room for the night. A room should be big enough for 3, right?
Oh, of course. Tell you what, we're having a special tonight. 1 gold for a room for the 3 of you, and 3 turkey legs, 3 ales.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
You hear somebody barf in the back corner.
You probably had too much to drink. It's probably not the turkey leg that tastes disgusting. No, it's he just probably had way too much to drink.
Smells like my childhood in here.
Oh, you grew up in a tavern, did you?
More or less. A brewery.
Oh, are you a brewer?
Yes, as was my father.
Oh, well, I'm sure your ales are too expensive for our kind, eh?
They're rather reasonably priced, but I'm empty of wares at the moment.
Oh, you don't have a sample.
Unfortunately not.
All right.
Tomorrow I might.
Well, I'll take your gold then and get you those turkey legs.
And I toss over 2 gold.
You got extra people with you coming later.
No, that's just a tip.
Well,
Don't
all
worry.
right then. I won't poison your turkey legs. She heads back to hunt around for turkey legs.
I do not believe I have a sense of smell anymore.
Well, that's interesting.
It is. It was always dim, but yeah, this place smells like iron and kind of clear.
There's definitely iron in the air. A bit of a coppery taste.
But that's the best kind of smell and taste.
certainly is one of them.
At least you know people are honest around in these kind of places. Well, as honest as they can be.
You
No,
notice a group of teenagers in mismatched leather armor drinking and staring at you from the far corner.
Do I recognize any of these kids?
Roll history.
15.
One of them looks familiar.
Uh,
Might be somebody you saw in Fia's camp.
yeah. I'll give a little nod.
The person looks a little confused, but nods and plays it off. You look very different.
Look, she doesn't know that. She's been in a metal room all day.
So yeah, there's this little group of teenagers. There's a couple gnomes playing darts in the corner. There's a couple hardworking longshore people sitting in the middle of the room. Greasy-haired bard in the back. Pickaxes on the walls and rocks. The tavern keeper comes back, puts turkey legs in front of y'all, puts ales in front of y'all, says, well, thank you so much. I'll tell you what. I'll tell Ilo to keep an extra eye on your room tonight in exchange for that extra gold, eh?
oh, thank you. That's very kind.
Well, if you'll excuse me, I've got some vomit to clean up. And she heads over with a bucket and starts waving at a maid to help her out.
I cannot drink or eat these things. Uh, would either of you like them?
I would like to have the chicken wings, but are you sure you can't at least taste?
Uh,
Like at least
well,
enjoy the flavor? I know you probably won't get sustenance from it, but maybe you can at least taste a little bit.
most of my biological head was destroyed.
That is fair.
Um, and my stomach is partially rotted, so no, I don't think I really should, but uh, it feels nicer to share them rather than sort of pretend to eat them and engage in the social revelry of eating.
Okay.
Please
Right, we'll all
enjoy.
be taking that drink.
Well, thank you for the chicken.
Of course.
He's just gonna kind of sadly eat the chicken, remembering back to how happy you were eating the squam.
Oh,
It's sad.
Uh, but then she kind of cheers up a little bit because she got extra chicken.
Yeah.
I'll just down the beers. Um, I'll go see if I can join those gnomes in the game of darts.
all right. Uh, you head over to the gnomes. They're two guys with leather aprons and little goggles on their heads. And as you approach, one of them looks at you and says, hey, bonsoir, mon ami. You wish to play the darts?
Yes,
Yes, we are gambling. 1 gold if you hit the bullseye, 2 gold if you don't.
Sure thing. I'll partake.
Okay. Both of the gnomes are named Francois.
So you're Francois and you're Francois. No. Francois and Francois.
Yeah.
Wait, they sound the same. Different.
He says, I am Francois Georges, and this is Francois Marcel. So you can call us Georges and Marcel, or you can call us both Francois. As long as you lose your money to us, you can call us anything you like.
Sure.
Okay. So the first one, he's a little tipsy, but he takes his dart and he says, I'm going to beat this big fellow right now. And throws the dart. Getting the dart when he goes like he basically goes like this. The dart coming out of the back of his hand, like and it lands on his foot, and he goes, "Oh, too much of the beverage. You might be taking my money tonight. Ho ho ho! Francois Marcel, show him how it's done." And Francois Marcel cracks his neck a little bit and steps up and he says, we have had a hard day at the workshop. You must understand. I am trying to make a little cart that moves when water vapor comes out the back. And it is so hard. And as soon as he finishes saying that, he just throws the dart at the board. And he gets an 11 plus 4, a 15. And you see the way he moves his arms is very trained from his tools. And now you can make any skill check you want that you can tell me is related to this. You can tell me how it's related to it.
I think sleight of hand would make sense. Just kind of both watching how they did it and then seeing kind of how it's in the flick of the wrist. So he'll use that to kind of use his dexterous hands in the same way that he'll steal something to try and fling it without bringing too much attention to the swing itself.
Now, do you still have a +9 or is it a +4 now? Because you gave
It's
your...
a +4 because I gave Mickey my gloves.
Okay. All right.
But I
Roll.
can't figure out how to make an investigation, so it's going to be sleight of hand.
All right. You can beat an 11. Wow.
Oh, short.
So you lose 2 gold, and the gnomes are like formidable. Muy bien. Très bien. And they're patting you on the back, and one of them pushes over his mug and he says, "For your troubles, the rest of my mug you can have."
Thanks. Easy come, easy go. And I'll look at it for a second and I'll just chug it.
And the Marcel pats you on the shoulder and he says, "You know, my friend, one day I will make a cart move with water vapor. If it can lift a tea kettle lid, why not a cart? That is what I say. These wizards, they do not know."
You might be onto something, actually. Wouldn't
Yeah.
be too hard.
You want to play one more time?
Yes, yes, yes. Tell me more about this moving card with what was it you said? Water vapor?
Yes, yes. Uh, first, yes, put up 4 gold. If you win, you get 2 gold. If you lose 4.
Doubling? Okay.
We must keep it interesting, right? The other Francois is like, it is a little too interesting for me. I think I need to go home. And then, what? One more game with this large fellow.
Francois, I just got here. One more.
And the non-Marcel Francois says, I will sit this one out. But if you wish to, yes, enjoy. And so you put up your money, and Francois Marcel, he goes, okay. Ah. Oh,
Ooh,
he goes, let me show you how it's done. And he looks just like an Olympian of dexterity and acrobatics as he throws his dart, and it just pierces the bullseye dead center, getting him a 21. He says, beat that, man.
I can only try.
maybe you can investigate the air currents and the quality of the darts and his form to give you a better
And
modifier.
then I'll whisper into the dart and persuade it to hit its target.
Which one are you gonna roll?
I'm going with sleight of hand again. That's a tie, I think. Right?
Did you roll a 17?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay. You split his dart down the middle, and you both hit exactly the bullseye. And he says, wow. Take back the money you lost. We are even. You are clearly a man of skill. If you stop by the workshop and ask for Francois Marcel, I will show you my contraption. And then he says, I call it a steam engine. You see, it is a heat engine. It performs mechanical work using steam, water vapor, as its working fluid. Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonsoir, François. François, he is asleep. Je suis désolé. The steam engine uses the force produced by steam pressure to push a piston back and forth inside a cylinder. At least this is my idea. But I must construct it in a way that it does not burst apart when it starts to roll. You understand, the force is so big. Do you follow? Do you follow, my friend?
I think more than you could have imagined, honestly. I'm I'm thinking of how to make it work myself now, honestly. It's quite the interesting proposition.
Well, don't
The
take
kind of
yeah.
the kind of thing that wizards swear can only happen with magic. But
You're
me
not
and you, we could make it with our tools in a lab.
you're not going to steal my idea, are you?
Not your idea.
What?
I'd never steal your idea, is what I'm saying. No. But I'm thinking of how to make it work. And then I'd give you my notes to help you achieve this dream of yours.
Oh, well, tell me your name.
I am Andre Brower of the Schwert. The, I don't remember how to pronounce it. The Schwertwell Brauer
I'm never gonna not laugh when
Brewing Company.
it's Andre Brown. He says, André Brauer. This name, it sounds faintly Liebenstag? Yes?
Uh, I'm a hobby brewer, and it helps sell more ale.
Ah, do you have any of this ale with you?
Not today. Tomorrow I might.
Well, uh, if you have an epiphany about this secret idea I have shared with you, come by the workshop and we will talk. Ask for Francois Marcel. All right, what has Miki been doing during all of this?
Minky has, I guess, been feeding Lean-To, her bird, and I guess just cracked open one of the books and started to compare what her memory is to like this uh, record of the Elvendell.
Okay, it sounds about the same.
She just wanted confirmation and wanted to know more about the Elvendell that she herself probably would not have known because she wasn't studious at home. That was more so her older brother and older sister. So she's just catching up on what her father would have eventually probably will have taught her if her life went differently.
Give me a history roll
Oof.
since you're so into book learning. Yeah. It sounds similar to how you think it would sound.
Fun.
You don't really discover anything out of the ordinary from reading the book.
Cool.
Sarah, we'll turn to you. Sorry, did you steal these books from the library?
No, I borrowed them. Sorry.
Very well. I did not remember a conversation with the very kind person who stayed late to help us find information that we were looking for, but I trust you at your word.
It's just I'm going to return them as soon as I can. It's just this was important to me. I'm sorry.
I see no reason for you to apologize as you borrowed them. Fully believes the lie. And of course, if it's important to you, it should be a thing to study and care for.
Mm. And I don't know. There's some discrepancies that I see that I just want to know more. There's a lot that the Elvendell is obviously very secretive. It's just I want to know more about these people's perception of the Elvendell in comparison to what I grew up learning.
Interesting.
Mm.
It's strange to compare perspectives like that. Our travels lead us to Parvus, which in a way I've never been to, as Crash did not form me until later in her life when she was not in Parvus. So it will be interesting to regain perspective for the both of us, I think.
Most definitely. I am interested in seeing how Parvus is myself.
We keep chatting, I think.
Yeah, just small talk.
So by the time Andre finishes with the darts and y'all finish with your chatting, it's around 1:15 a.m. More barfing, more long-short people drinking, more dirty, scummy vibes. Couple people start to limp home. The gnomes head out. A couple of the teenagers head out. but it's still a tavern. If anybody wants to do anything, you can tell me what it is.
Long rest?
Yeah,
Time for bed,
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah, time for
maybe
bed.
bedtime.
Head to bed.
He doesn't want to get hungover quite yet.
All of a sudden, Gaba Dan walks in.
Yeah.
And you're up till 5 a.m. with Gaba Dan. So you all head up to your room?
Yeah.
All right. You all go to bed, or what do you want to do before bed or during bed or whatever? As you're heading up to your room, you see a smallish fellow at the top of the stairs that looks out onto the hall where the rooms are. And he just kind of nods to you.
I give him a kind of knowing look and message him, thank you for looking after the hallway and thank you for looking after our room with a closer eye.
He nods to you. So you all head into your room. Let me know anything you're up to before, during, or after sleepy times.
I might futz with my spells, and I have a spell slot, so I get to cast Mage Armor as for the next day, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, I rest cast mage armor like normal.
Hell yeah. The DM casts Mage Armor as well.
I'm changing my spells.
If anyone has any interesting spell changes, let me know. If you prepare Blight, then you'll have a bunch of plant monsters to fight.
Yeah.
First, you'd have to be level 7 to have Blight. You guys just leveled up February 9th, it looks like. Or no, that's when Andre.
We leveled up and we killed the queen.
January 13th. Yeah, and you haven't had a battle since then.
No, actually.
You haven't had a battle in a month and a half. If someone asked me, is this a combat heavy campaign? I'd be like, all the pillars are balanced. All the pillars are balanced, but they haven't had a battle in the last 6 campaigns. All of a sudden, a troll bursts into your room at night
The city is under siege.
and tries to smush you. So yeah, you're rearranging your spells. You're going to bed.
Swapped out one of my thirds for life transference.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Well, if nobody tells me anything else, I'm gonna say you wake up at 6 a.m. You wake up at 6 a.m. Everyone give me con saves.
Me? Also me?
Yeah, even you.
Ah. Oh no.
An extremely low DC.
Oh, saves. That means I get a +3 on that, or +5 on it total.
Nice.
Right? Oh, damn.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah. You all sleep fine and dandy. It looks like Andre maybe has the worst sleep. He awakens with a crick in his neck. But it starts to dissipate after a while. The beds are more like wooden pallets with a blanket thrown over them, and the pillows are like rolled up towels. It's pretty easy to get a splinter on the floor. It's not it's not even there's not even any decorations hanging on the walls. Um, it's not the nicest tavern. But none of you awoke with your back thrown out or a crick in your neck or anything. Andre had one for like half an hour. So yeah, it's 6 a.m. and you're awake in the towering mine. As the sun comes up, throwing a little bit of light into your room, um, you notice that there's a decorative pickaxe on the wall and some random broken pieces of rocks that are shellacked onto the wall.
Very interesting decor choices.
It is
Creative
called
and
the
poignant.
Towering Mine, right?
Yeah, it's very thematic.
You know, I never realized gnomes were such naturals at dots.
They are generally dexterous, so it makes sense.
I guess I never thought of it that way.
Hmm.
Uh, well, off to the Coughlins.
Yeah, let's go check out what the coffins are up to.
Certainly, that first, and then we speak to the prince and receive the books we acquisitioned.
They'll
Yeah.
surely be there.
I hope so, but I also hope the person who we gave that order to is fine and doesn't take too much of their day to do that and doesn't try too hard, frankly.
I don't think they will try too hard.
So you're getting up and going to the Coughlins?
Yeah.
You doing anything before you leave the tavern?
You're about casting another goddamn send into Thea to be like, hey, I'm alive and we can talk. But I really don't want to do that.
If that tavern keeper lady from last night is still there,
Mm-hmm.
I'll offer to sell her some beer.
Uh, she says, good morning.
Morning.
Oh, you're awfully bright-eyed for the morning. What? How may I help you?
Well, you did say that you were interested in possibly purchasing some of my ales. I do have a shipment of 4 gallons that would be ready for you if you were interested to purchase or sample.
Uh, well, I suppose a sample would be in order before I purchase a full 4 gallons.
Of
Uh,
course.
tell me, uh, tell me why your ales are so good.
Why? Well, I have a couple different brews that I make. I make them for all occasions. I have a list of notes on the flavors that go into making them, the flavors that they pair well with, their alcohol content, which is important for some taverns where maybe they don't want to have as rough of a vibe, or where you have the type of clientele who want to get smashed rather quickly.
Yes,
Um,
well, the people here like the strong stuff.
well, the strongest that I carry is the Blood of Toth, is what I call it. It is an imperial stout, dark black coloration, has deep notes of espresso, dark chocolate, and nuts. I don't know if your clientele have had those things before, but it does have a fruity aftertaste, and it is thick and viscous. Uh, the viscosity is not dissimilar to oil, although the brew itself is rather potent and rather tasty.
Uh, well, that's a lot of words. I
Give
think
me a mug, and I'll fill up your mug, and you can tell me what you think of it.
yes, the smartest thing to do would be for me to try it. Um, please.
Yeah, I'll get my alchemy jug, which I imagine just for flavor purposes looks like a small keg. And I'll like spritz her a mug of ale of the blood of Toth.
All right. Um, give me a history roll, please.
Okay. I have brewery tools if you want me to do that for the or brewer supplies rather, in
Which
case that's also needed.
skill would that use?
Brewer supplies, it's kind of like thieves tools and stuff where it's just kind of a tool proficiency. I don't know if it like applies necessarily to anything directly. Just like brewer stuff.
Let me look at that. Yeah, this is an oft debated thing. There is a set of rules for them that are optional or like in one of the newer books. Yeah, there's a bunch of information in Xanathar's to sort of update how artisans' tools are used. All right. So I'm gonna say make me a sleight of hand check. It's the same thing. Make me a +4 check with your brewer's tools to handle this.
Okay.
It's dexterity plus proficiency bonus, so should work.
23.
She tastes it and she's like, the blood of Toth! The blood of Toth! I think we're gonna be serving this for half a gold piece a mug. This is micro batch, small brew, all of those words that the young people like. Ah, all right. What do you, 4 gallons. Let me see here. It's, gallons, pints, uh, uh, 30 gold for your 4 gallons. What do you say?
That sounds like a fine price to me.
Got to make a profit, you know. I'm reselling the stuff.
I recognize the business.
Game recognized game. And she gives you a couple pouches of gold. And how do you give her these gallons?
Do you have any empty barrels? The only thing is I can't leave my keg with you. This is an heirloom.
Oh, one moment, one moment. Ah, this used barrel might alter the flavor. She pulls the stopper out. Ah, it'll have to do, though. This is what we have here at the Towering Mine.
Sure thing. And yeah, I'll pour all 4 gallons in there for her.
Uh, beautiful, beautiful. She tries to lift it off the bar. It's like, ah, oh, beautiful. Well, I'll be telling people we're selling the blood of Toth tonight.
Sounds wonderful.
Very good. All right. What else? What else you guys want to do before you leave the tavern? I don't hear nothing, so you all leave the tavern. Now you all standing outside, you in the chop. People looking at you, wondering how much gold you got. Dusty streets. You in the chop. You could assume that the Coughlin's spot is in the nobles' quarter, because that's where a lot of the nobles live. So that could be an assumption that you could make.
Yeah, let's
We are
head to the nobles' quarters, and I'm sure we'll catch wind of some gossip as we near.
I'm sure someone will be able to direct us to the Coffin residence.
So you head out of the chop, past the docks area where many ships are unloading, over the bridge and into the travelers district. And some people are already swilling on ale outside in the streets and eating their breakfast in the travelers district. Just to the north of the travelers district is the nobles quarter, where some of the memorable compounds such as the Anaranjado compound and the Mussover compound are located, as well as some of the compounds of the minor houses. And yeah, you start making your way into the nobles quarter.
I will say, uh, as we approach, what is our tone that we would like to set with these people?
That's a good question.
Inquisitive possible business partners?
Certainly. Sure.
That's really the only angle I can think of. I mean, I'm big, but I'm not really the intimidating sort.
We
And for
have
that matter, I'm shorter than Miki is.
I feel like I'm decently intimidating, but it's not my strongest suit. I can more so persuade them or deceive them. But I'm also fairly good at intimidation.
I sort of don't intimidate or persuade. So I will leave this to your strengths. I do fear there, I mean, we've been asked by Mosover to find why these people have gained prominence, which probably means, I don't know, I had the inclination this could be related to some ill dealings on these people's part, or I
That's
don't
my
know.
assumption as well. Economic growth at a rapid and unusual pace was kind of the synopsis that I understood from it, which could either be illegal dealings, could be some item that they have discovered that others have not and that they are profiting off of. Could be a whole slew of things, but that's why I thought the business partners angle might have been the best.
Right. I think that is wise. My mind went to the oath that was signed. There could be something to the idea that perhaps some of the lesser nobles have reached out to whatever force propelled the queen into her power.
And do you know that force, or just is it a lead to what that force may be?
That was a guess. It just felt the timing of the queen's demise and the movement here, as well as the fact that we did not dispose of or destroy the entity that the queen was following.
That is a good point. That is a good lead.
So, Miki, I think you would be under the impression that the Coughlin's residence would be in the nobles' quarter, but I don't know if you would necessarily know where it is. You can make a history check, which you suck at, to see if you can remember from your dealings. Um, Go ahead and roll.
All right.
I'm gonna give Mickey the help action.
You don't need it.
Oh,
Hey.
You recall, Miki, that when you were scamming someone else, that it was mentioned that the Coughlin residence was across the street. And so you recall where that is.
Oh yes, the Coughlins. I think they should be this house right here, just uh, along across the street over here.
So you lead the way, and you lead the way towards not really a compound like some of the major houses have these compounds with multiple mansions and everything. Uh, Not really a compound, but a large mansion set back from the road with a wide, deep lawn. And they have that sort of semicircular driveway that goes in towards the house and then back out towards the street. Yes, a driveway because of carts and carriages and horses and such. So whatever you want to call a driveway in a medieval world, they have a little road that goes in towards their house in a semicircle and then back out. Um, there is only one carriage parked in front of the mansion at this time, and you don't see any servants standing on the porch. When you went to the Mussover's main mansion, for example, there were a bunch of footmen standing on the veranda. But you see that this rather large mansion is decorated with plaid, uh, like a red and gray over salmonish, light orangish color. Uh, the curtains showing through the windows are that color. There's sort of a fringe around the door of sorts that is this plaid. And otherwise, you see a lot of like iron colored metal and a dark red, more of a rust colored red than the Mussover's sort of brilliant red. It's like a rusty red and a silvery iron color in the decor. But looks like a big 1600s kind of mansion with some columns and a porch of sorts. And yeah, so you all are walking up the main street of the Nobles Quarter, and then you see this large mansion set in from the road.
Ah yes, I remembered this mansion. It was very gaudy colors, and I was not very pleasant to the eye. I didn't know. I just don't like that pattern that they have.
Miki, since you are going to be doing most of the talking,
Mm,
um, there is something that I should offer you
all
if
right.
you'd give me a moment of your time.
Yeah.
Um, I think flavor wise, I pour you like a shot uh and and tell you to drink it. What it actually is I am casting enhance ability for advantage on charisma checks for you.
Nice.
Nice. Uh, what does this shot look like?
Let's say it is a bright green shot, and it tastes like sour green apples.
Ooh.
Hmm. And you feel the eagle's splendor come over you.
Ooh, I like this flavor a lot. It makes me more confident in what I'm saying. Thank you.
It's what it's meant to do.
Sir, what are y'all up to?
uh, Last point of order. Are we name dropping our allies and the prince and Mussover?
If we need to, I'd like to avoid that if possible. Maybe if we say that there are allies, then maybe they'll get suspicious and kind of hide things a little bit more. Maybe if we just go in with the pure mercantile angle, and maybe if we name drop Galathikosh, maybe they'll think we're also followers, and if it's something like that.
Fair. I would say between the two, it's scarier to be told that a bunch of strangers come from the same sort of criminal organization, I guess, that you come from, rather than like I feel like saying we're from the Prince or from Mussover would get us a foot in the door rather than a chance of them just saying, "Oh, we don't know anything about that," and sending us away.
All right.
I've always heard that when someone does something for money, you know why they're doing it. When someone does something and says they don't want money in return, they become a bit less trustworthy. Uh, but I will leave the finer details of the matter to Miki.
I fully agree.
All right.
So y'all are standing in this main street looking at this this mansion that looks as I described. One carriage out front, no servants on the porch. Let me know what you do.
Go to the front door and knock, right?
Yeah. Is there like a knocker?
There is a bell rope. Like you can pull a little bell string to ring a bell. And of course, you could knock on the door as well.
I'm gonna pull on the rope.
All right, you pull on the rope. Nothing much happens.
I knock on the door.
You knock on the door. Nothing much happens.
Hmm. I blindly message inside in various cardinal directions, going from 45 degrees, being just like, hello, we have a business proposition. Please answer your door. Do I
Bring MLM.
get any hints?
You're shooting this message 30 feet into the room, into the house.
Is it 30 feet? I thought it was a little bit more.
It's 120.
Well, for some reason, there's a lead wall 30 feet inside the house. So you're shooting that message into the house.
Do I get any response from anything?
Well, show me what direction your finger is pointing.
I would just, like a water sprinkler, just went.
You don't get any response.
I aim down. See if like I can aim towards the basements.
You don't get any response.
I aim towards a higher floor. Any responses?
Okay.
Is there someone in the attic?
And so you're saying answer your door, we have a business proposition?
Yes, we have a business proposition. We are currently at your door. Please hear us out.
When you aim up towards an upper floor, give you aim up towards an upper floor, you hear, like when you're talking to somebody on a walkie-talkie and they press the button but they don't say anything,
Hmm.
like a kind of thing, you know, you you hear just a like someone received the message and they could say something back to you, but they don't.
Hmm.
So you're shooting all through the house, the first floor of the house. You're shooting down to try to hit any basement, and then you shoot up for any upper floor type situation. And one of them, I guess you hit something because in their ability to respond to your message, you hear
I just hear a sigh or something.
yeah, you're not quite sure exactly what it is, but the person doesn't say anything.
Oh, all right. Then I go.
Like when you call someone that doesn't want to talk to you, and
Mm,
they answer the phone, and then they realize it's you, and then they hang up without saying anything, and there's that moment where they could say something and then they don't. It's like that. I'm sure no one has had that experience but me.
I used to work at a call center. I've had that experience.
Yeah, I am a walking call center. Every day is a call center.
Mm.
Yeah, so that happens.
All right, then as soon as I get that, I kind of freeze my finger guns and just like, okay, there's someone in that general direction. Um, but aside from that, there's been no one that I could reach with a message spell. Do we want to try breaking in?
Miki,
Um,
you just said the most magical thing to me.
you know, when we started walking over here, I was thinking about the whole connection to Galathakosh. Yeah, I'd be happy to sort of erase this noble family if we need to. Let's break into their house.
Oh, hold on, we're just talking about a little B&E. We're not making a political assassination just yet. Although it is on the table. I want you to know that.
It's a slight
Yeah, I'll
suggestion.
say that's where I'm coming from. I'll sort of follow your guys' lead.
Hopefully, there we can be amicable.
Let's sneak around back and look for an open window.
Sure, I can climb up walls. I could potentially use that.
That could be useful.
You no longer can because of your new form. Just kidding. But that reminds me. What did that remind me of? Oh yeah, that reminds me of let's see, where did I send that to you? I sent it to you last time. I probably saved it in a document, but yeah, I'm sure I retyped it somewhere. Gosh, we talked about so many other things. There it is.
It's somewhere. Yeah, yeah. I should probably save all this. Yeah, I found it too. You sent me just a period and it was terrifying.
Gasp.
Yeah. Oh, maybe that was the document. Yes. Here it is. Yes. There we go. I thought that document was like your old backstory, but no, it's the thing that I sent you. Okay. I have all of that. All right. So, someone suggested sneaking around back and looking for an open window. You guys are talking about general sneaking situations. Let me know what you're doing.
Stealth, right, guys?
Yeah,
Gonna,
the
yeah.
stealthy way around.
And possibly investigation for looking for like a way into the building.
All right, so right now you're still by the main street. Well, I guess you walked closer so that you could shoot. At least Miki walked closer so that she could shoot into the house with 120 feet. So
Uh,
at least Miki is standing on the vacant porch. Miki, you told me you pulled the bell rope.
mm,
So you're standing on the front porch. You didn't get any response, but that one, you see that the house has hedgerows. About 10 feet from each side of the house, like tall hedges that separate it from other lands, other people's lands. But you could walk around behind the house if you wanted to. You could give me an investigation check or whatever if you want to be searching the front of the house, or if you want to move, let me know where you're moving.
can I just put my back up against like the wall right by the front door and then just try to just open the door with like a mage hand just in case it's trapped?
Sure, the door is locked.
Door's locked. Okay. Cool. Can confirm the door is locked.
I always have a loud way of getting through just about any non-magical object. Um, put that on the table. Open window stealth plan for now.
Yeah, let's try to find an open window or something first.
All right. Investigation or perception check. Y'all are still standing on the porch in the front of the house.
Can my bird give me the help up action?
Yes. Because your bird can go up in the air and look all around and give you different points of view.
This will be perception. Ooh, 21.
Yeah, a 21 and a 12. Good thing you had the help action. So all the windows seem to be closed tight in the front of their house. There doesn't seem to be any good way to break in front of the house. Also, there are carriages and people walking by in the main street. So you three are just lurking on this porch, and Miki is like poking it and touching windows, and people are walking by out in the main street. Um, your darling bird, Lean-To, is up in the air, and she sees that that you can go around behind the house, and that there is a back door back there, and a few other buildings in the open area behind the house.
All right, I share that with the others.
You know, I don't believe sneaking into this home in broad daylight would be particularly easy. We could just go with the very aggressive route of simply threatening the person with our status and intention, whoever you were able to message.
All right, I can definitely do that. Andre, is that a route you want to?
Yeah, that works.
All right.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Please don't say that I said we want to erase this noble house, just that we're here from Mussover.
Mm. All right, then I message the person that was rude and didn't respond back to me. Me just like, all right, shenanigans are done. We're here from orders from Mussover. We've come to investigate.
You hear the same like
Still no answer.
Oh, I was gonna say, please tell me they didn't say something and we get to break in now.
I feel like we still get to break in, just more secret, more discreetly.
All right.
Well, I feel like I'm not a fan of political power as a concept, but they are kind of disobeying status. So maybe we can just do this as loudly as we'd like.
Maybe.
You.
Is the backyard, if we go to the backyard, is that did I see if that was kind of hedged in, kind of like this was in?
Yeah.
All right, so we can check the back. There shouldn't be any passerbys looking in on us. So
Um, yep. Sorry.
yeah, so I can attempt to unlock the door. I can break down the door handle itself, and the door locking mechanism.
So you are you going around back, or are you still talking about going around back?
I'm still
Let's
talking
just
about.
go straight around back.
I
Okay,
think
cool.
we should do it.
All right, as you head back along the side of the house, in between the house and the hedge, you notice like a servant's entrance on the side of the house, kind of a small door with a little window that the thickest of you would have to squeeze to really squeeze through this little window. But yeah, there's a little door and like a kind of a gable overhang thing on the side of the house that looks like a servant's entrance. There's also a clothesline with some servanty looking clothes hanging from it.
Do the clothes look like they could potentially be our size?
Um,
I doubt it.
Maybe, but it's more like billowy white undershirts and stuff like that rather than,
Oh, okay. So it's nothing we can use as disguises if we get caught. Okay.
yeah, it's not really servant uniforms. It's more like underclothing and puffy shirts and stuff.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you can mess around here or continue to the back of the house.
All right. Do we want to try this entrance or try a window out back?
Hmm. Entering from the back is currently my preference.
All right. Yeah, let's go check the back.
All right, you continue on to the back. There's quite a lot of open space in the back of the house. It looks like they might play croquet or even something horse related back here. There's quite a lot of open green space. Interestingly, it looks like it hasn't necessarily been used in a while. Um, and there are a couple of yard related buildings, and the back of the house has a number of large windows and sort of two big French doors type doors, like glass panes in them, that would open out onto the lawn.
Is there any sort of like heavy foot traffic kind of making a path uh like foot imprints, kind of like, when you step on grass over time it kind of creates like a dirt path? Is there any sort of that going to any of the side buildings outside the house, or is it just uh grass?
You can roll survival, the footprint skill.
Oh, good, it's a flat roll.
Yeah, looking around the backyard and trying to get an idea of what footprints and foot traffic might tell you. There is one of the yard buildings that appears to have more recent foot traffic headed to it. And the parts of the yard that would be used for recreation, like croquet and situations like that seem to be in disuse.
I share that with the others.
Huh.
So do we want to check out that building or check out the main building first?
We can check out that building, I guess, and then we'll go to the main building after.
All right.
Maybe we'll find some evidence to confront Mr. No Message back with.
Yeah. Yeah. Find some cold hard facts to press into his face and get him to talk.
Indeed. It is it feels strange that this place is so untended to.
Yeah, it feels very empty and lifeless.
Do we feel, are you 100% certain this is the right house?
I am fairly certain.
You see a little sign on the back of the house that says beloved Coughlin family.
See, there's a sign. Their kid graduated and they had top marks in their soccer club.
Huh. Beautiful. Well,
But it also looks old and unloved.
hmm. Weird as hell that these guys might have money, but they're not really doing anything with it. Well, let's check out this little building.
Yeah.
You go to the little building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, it's a little wooden building. It is the medieval version of an extra garage. It looks like it once had some yard usages. There are a couple yard tools near it. And there is a big door that kind of folds up that's in the front of this structure.
And
I check the door for traps. Or maybe someone else with a higher score in investigation should check it for traps.
I have 7. I can check it for traps.
It's good.
Can I give? No, I can't give the help action.
This
because
is
I am not
definitely
proficient.
check for traps music. I'm glad that we're doing this.
I'm looking for a roll.
Oh, 23.
You find no traps on this front door that folds up. But was that a perception roll?
That was an investigation.
Okay, well, investigation or perception, as you're looking for traps, you start to smell stinkiness.
Oh,
Hmm.
Well, now we have to see what's in there.
I check the door. Is it locked?
Yeah, but it's just it's like a big metal lock that's down in the corner connecting part of the wood to part of the wood.
Cool. Then I use Golden Fang to kind of just break off the lock.
Wow. The lock is like you crit on the lock and the lock just like triple dies. It snaps off and yeah, you can pull up this wooden door and fold it up on this rather large medieval version of a garage.
All right, I do so.
We really dramatically do it. We really like draw it out, and the camera kind of lingers.
And for some reason there's a creak like and inside, as you lift the door, the stench really enters your nostrils. It smells disgusting, like rotten meat, and there are various pieces of gardening equipment lying around, as well as the type of items that a person would put away for storage, little boxes, that sort of thing. But very prominent in your vision, in the center of this garage-esque place, are four dead people. Much of them is missing, and they have chunks of blood and goo splattered around them. Uh, their bones are showing in various places. There's one guy with half a face, and the face is going, and it stinks to high heaven.
Did these people look like commoners or nobles?
Give me an investigation, please.
I'm not very good at that, but I'll
Can I
try.
give her advantage?
Uh,
A help action because I have proficiency.
I guess you can
Thanks,
both.
man.
Wow.
No, that was a wonderful 2 rolls.
Hey, we're counting up here. 1 and 2.
You both go over there to try to figure out what's going on with these corpses, and they are so disgusting that you cannot even think straight. There's just blood and guts and goo and rot and maggots and bones and pieces, and you cannot analyze them. But Miki, how would you like to analyze these corpses?
I guess I just with my bird on my shoulder, hopefully giving me the help action itself, I'm just going to try to perceive what kind of clothing they have, if it's more noble, if it's yeah, of noble make.
I will let your bird grant you advantage on perception, as it is a perceiving creature known for its perception.
Can I give Miki? Wait, never mind. You have help action already.
Ooh, that's
It'd be
so the first one was a 20.
it'd be an interesting rule if every time you roll with advantage, if one of the two dice is a 1, you still fail.
That'd be so scary.
Yeah, that's so scary.
So you roll with you roll 20, a dirty 20. So you and your bird walk over to the dead bodies. Lean to looks unhappy about this sight.
It's
And
just slightly throwing up over my shoulder.
yeah. Andre and Crash or Sarah are busy also trying to stifle vomitousness. Although Sarah, you feel a certain draw to these corpses. Sarah, make a con save for me, please.
Hey,
Sarah,
yeah.
you must
Oh,
use one of your third level spell slots to cast
yeah.
Dead.
Yeah.
Animate dead?
Fuck, I forgot. It's DC 17.
You must
Well, wait, but the,
your your abjurative ward, your
yeah,
abjurative ward covers your senses, and you feel this
I didn't kill these
urge.
guys.
You feel
Okay.
this, you feel this urge in your mind, and it says spread, protect and spread.
Well, shit, I gotta do it now. All right.
Do you want it to be a zombie or a skeleton?
They're gonna be zombies. Can I give a little flavor for this?
Yes.
Lovely. So Sarah steps forward. There's no like I think she just the only visible difference in her affectation here is that she just moves a little less. It's just a little smoother. There's a little bit less of a like natural cadence to it. She just kind of every part of her moves like smoothly with very little sort of follow through or humanity in it. She uh the gray rotting fur of the body of Crash is exposed as a part of her ward sort of shifts and moves near her chest. And the her fingertips sort of sharpen. She uh this is just flavor. I'm not actually hurting myself. Splits into her own chest, revealing this sort of you can kind of see like flickering veins of her like ward magic, like this kind of obsidian like blood moving through her. She seems to have some kind of core or heart um that extends a part of her ward to these bodies. And more of that sort of strange viscous metal begins to sort of coat and not quite cover, but just sort of stitch around some of these injuries, and these individuals begin to move.
One of them does.
Right.
Uh,
Well, I
and
can do 3, right?
no. One. Animate dead. You must cast one animate dead. You're not a
Okay.
necromancer, which would make you able to animate 2.
Okay.
You can reassert control over 4 every moment,
Ah,
but you animate 1 creature with animate dead. Unless
Lovely.
you, the player, choose to use the rest of your spell slots, but you are forced to animate this one.
No,
So
for some reason my brain told me I could do 3, but you're right. Okay. I just do this one.
um yep. You choose a pile of bones or a corpse, and then raises it as an undead creature. Creature is under your control for 24 hours. At the end of those 24 hours, you must recast the spell if you want to reassert control over the creature. You can reassert control over up to 4 creatures with 1 casting of the spell. So if you want to build an undead army, you may. But what's happening, Daniel?
I'm just imagining Kaz coming back like next week and be like, "So what did you guys do?" And Andre and Mickey just have this look of horror, just like, "I don't want to talk about it."
So so the so one of the corpses, which is half bone, half flesh, lifts up off the ground with Crash's magic and comes over to the group of you. And the zombie's eyes are pulsating white geometric shapes. And the zombie uh looks at you, Sarah, and says, "Thank you."
Corpse.
And then it just stands there awaiting your command. Miki, you were examining the bodies when this happened. What you put together is that they have been eaten. They have been they have been getting eaten over a period of time. These bodies have been laying here in the garage and having bites taken out of them, getting gnawed on, having their flesh eaten up. So parts of them are rotting. They have maggots in them. They've been here for a while. It smells horrible. But something or someone has feasted on these bodies, eating parts of them, biting the meat off the bone, etc.
Cool. So, cool. So, like, am I able to tell if they are the Coughlin family?
You surmise that one of them is wearing noble garments, and the colors of the noble garments are potentially in line with a member of the Deron family. You see blue and perhaps a little trace of a silver fleur-de-lis that could indicate that it's a Deron. The other three appear to be commoners. Crash, you have reanimated a commoner zombie. And yeah.
Is there anything else in this garage?
There is gardening equipment and things that people would put into storage in their garage
Okay.
in medieval times. Medieval storage and medieval gardening equipment in a medieval version of a garage.
Medieval jerry can with carrots in it for the horse. um right. We need to get into that house now. Crash, are you okay?
Sure. Yes. This this one seemed like it needed a second chance.
Right. I'm glad you could give it that.
Of course.
And it might come in handy versus whatever wreaked this upon them.
Certainly. Uh, it is with us for the day and potentially longer. Um, so yes, an ally indeed.
An ally indeed. Let's not waste any more time.
Mhm.
Certainly.
I privately message Andre, being just like, "That's creeping you out too, right? I'm sorry. That's scary."
It's only 25 words, right?
It's as
Pretty.
much as you can say in an action.
I think message is 25 words.
Is it?
I have no idea.
Sending is 25 words.
Oh, okay.
Uh, can reply
Um,
in a whisper that only you can hear.
okay. I mean, to be honest, I was hiding some secrets from you guys, but I feel like I am now for sure not going to be able to get myself out of this group for a long while. Uh so yeah. Yeah, that was frightening. We should go. I'd rather not dwell on this for much longer.
Mhm. Yeah, I message back and just like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry to drag you into this. It's a bit much."
To be fair, it's just as much my fault as yours. I was looking for some good bodyguards, and I've got some of probably the best, I'd imagine.
Migi just kind of nods her head, not wanting to cast another message though.
Sarah
Right.
kind of has been muttering to herself, like, a name. Me and Crash were never good with those things. Grab. No. A name. Just truly losing it.
The zombie says, Grant.
Sure. Hello, Grant.
Thank you.
Of course.
Do you think he has memories from his life?
Uh, Perhaps we had some. Grant, how much of your life do you remember?
Nothing.
No, I don't think Grant has memories.
Well, it was a possible lead, and the only other one is in that house.
Uh, Sounds like a plan.
Alright. I go up to the back door. I assume it's locked, so I'm gonna just try to lockpick it.
All right. Give me a lockpick roll. Sleight of hand roll is fine.
Sleight of hand.
It's a
Can
natural.
I say my bird was helping me?
No.
How can a bird pick a lock?
By squawking at me, means like we're
You-
gonna fuck it up.
You
The
had a plus
natural
11.
one- With a natural one, you slip and accidentally punch out a pane of glass near the door handle.
Shit. Oh, I guess that works.
Miki, that was incredibly aggressive.
I
How did
did,
you slip and produce that much power?
just sometimes, falling and trying to save yourself from falling sometimes causes more of a problem than just falling on its own. So it was probably that.
I feel like there's a philosophy in that. Well, come on, Grant. Sort of steps through the window.
As you all are making your way into the back door of this house, Cazador comes up behind you and says, "Oh, I've followed your tracks and was able to rejoin you. What are we doing in this? Oh, who's that?" That will end our session. We'll end our session, and just a reminder, Grant is half eaten and very stinky. So cuidado con public places.
Something tells me we might have combat coming up soon.
Yeah, something very much tells me that.
Something tells me that 4 sessions from now you might have combat. But the next session will just be spent standing in the doorway talking about what is popcorn exactly and how is it made?
Kaz prepared raise what is it? Speak with dead, unbeknownst to us.
Could be helpful.
It could actually. Could be really helpful.
Well, animate dead, the spell it doesn't actually animate the person who died. They become like a
Material.
different person of sorts that's not the same person that gets reanimated. But there are the 3 corpses in the garage that could be speak the deaded with.
I was also thinking, like, maybe if my guy is a servant, he just has keys. But that's okay.
But
That was honestly pretty likely.
you you open the door and you're headed inside, and that's where we'll end the session. Wow, it just started pouring here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can you hear it where at your house, Daniel? Is it pouring?
No, I can't hear it from where I am.
It just
It
started.
might be pouring, but my windows are closed, so I can't hear it.
All right. Who has in inspiration?
Do I? Wait, shit. Yeah, I think I do.
I don't
Yes.
think I do.
Only one?
Think so.
Yeah, I don't have it.
All right, we'll do an inspo vote between the two. Okay. Something you enjoyed about the session, something you enjoyed that another player did, and then an inspiration vote between Miki and Andre. Alex, you're up first.
Yeah, so I liked this session. I liked getting the slow mystery of just like, oh yeah, the Coughlins, they're just being weird. They're highly energetic, to the stark contrast of going to their house and it's just dead. There's just, corpses that are snacks in the garage. There's no movement in the backyard. Definitely not very energetic. So I'm interested in seeing how that plays out. Things that other players did. I very much liked Andre being the alcohol salesman and selling alcohol to the inn, and I very much liked Sarah just following me, just like, yep, this is Grant. He's my new best friend. He's definitely not going to try to eat someone in 24 hours if I don't control him.
Inspo vote?
So yeah, Eve has inspiration already, I think. So I'll put my inspo vote for Daniel.
Ah. Okay. Daniel.
Yeah, I really liked this session. I was definitely not expecting corpses at first. From the description that I got of the Coughlins, I was like, oh, maybe they found like coffee beans or something and they're making coffee. So they're kind of irritable and they're energetic and maybe they're selling it, but they're selling it under the table and no one knows what it is. So that's their economic growth. But yeah, I wasn't expecting corpses in the garage. I was caught unawares with that. Especially their names were Coughlin, and the way I named things, I was like, "Oh, Coughlin, coffee, yeah, that's probably like the connection there." um, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Um, I really like uh Miki taking the kind of face role, I guess, kind of is what I'd call it, in these sessions, especially pushing her to be like the MLM salesman when we're knocking on the door and being like, we've got some Cutco knives to show you, and I'd give her the inspo vote because this is a two-party system.
One of these days, someone in this situation should just go, I vote for myself. I think I did the best and I deserve it.
One day someone will.
What's that meme? Nah, I'd win. Just that.
All right. Eve.
Okay. I enjoyed the session. I think I liked us. I liked the subtle sadness of talking to someone who like had a reason to help us, but kind of had to stay late at their job. I was like, oh, that's sort of nice, sort of sad. Um, I liked the Francois. I liked bar shenanigans. I liked raising a man from the dead out of pure impulse. Um, I I'm always a fan of Andre's little like uh spiels about alcohol selling and the little interactions there. Um I really liked the interaction between Miki and Andre right after Crash's or Sarah bringing someone back where it was like, I guess I didn't think about how kind of nasty I made this character until that moment. So that was a nice little bit of self-knowledge there. And I liked that little scene. Uh, my inspiration vote. Um, oh, I feel so bad. No, I will roll a dice for it. Though I did say the thing about guessing Sarah's name, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna roll dice. I think it's gonna be a D20 above Atena Andre, below Miki. Miki.
Hey.
All right. Two of you have inspiration. So yeah, it's fun figuring out what you're gonna do next and preparing for it. I enjoyed laying out all the ancient texts and the image of you all poring over these things and trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm happy about you investigating the Coughlins. There's so many threads that could lead to where, but you've researched Golathikosh, you're checking out the Coughlin family, and then we have some other like longer term things. Teleport to Parvus or some other country, investigate the conflict within the Mage College. But who knows where this Coughlin situation will lead. I'm looking forward to what is going to happen when you go into this house. And I'm enjoying the changes in Sarah. And that's that. I'm going to bed, y'all.
Good night, folks.
Good
Sounds
night,
like fun.
guys.
Night.
Thanks for the
Have a good
session.
night. It was
See
a
you in
fun
a week.
session.
That's great.
See you next
Week.
Friday. Bye.
Bow.